Ladies and gentlemen, it's about talent. It's less about talent and more about how you think, how you respond to challenges, and discipline yourself daily. That, ladies and gentlemen, yes, we know how to invite. Yes, we know how to present. But ladies and gentlemen are saying that if you are going to win, then you are going to think about just your normal talent. Because everyone is doing the same thing like you. But what's going to set you apart, ladies and gentlemen, it's how you think, how you respond to the different scenarios, different circumstances which will present themselves to you. And ladies and gentlemen, many successful entrepreneurs win because of the mindset, even before the strategy. Even before the strategy. Those who have listened to my story, one thing I believe that made us build teams very fast, it's never about who came in first. It's always about what attitude, what confidence, what belief do you have as you present your business. That as you go to talk to these people, with which attitude are you talking to them? Are you talking to them to join another ordinary business? Are you talking to them to buy another food supplement like they have been buying, like the ones I've been hearing about? Or are you presenting to them a difference maker? Are you presenting to them a business that is like no other? Are we together? That, ladies and gentlemen, it's beyond just the talent, but they are saying that in this training today, they are saying that, can you back up your talent with a winning mindset, with a positive mindset? Can you back up your talent with the attitude of there is more room to grow? There's a gentleman called Jim Rohn is down who says that, is it Jim Rohn? Is it Eric Worre? That the biggest room ever in this world is the room to improve. The biggest room in this world is the room to improve. Meaning that, ladies and gentlemen, do you still have it inside you that, yes, I've attended training, yes, I've read the script, but what extra thing are you doing to get better? Are we together? And ladies and gentlemen, winning mindset is what differentiates mediocrity from success. That if we or you are going to be successful, more successful, then it's going to come back to what kind of attitude do you possess as you talk to your people. Ladies and gentlemen, they're saying everyone is working hard, but the only difference is we are working hard but with different mindsets. Some of us are working to transition to the next business opportunity, not some. Some of us are working waiting for any open window and we jump through it. Another person is working for the sake of let me work because I'm here. Another person is working saying, I am going to die with this. Another person is working saying, this is my game changer. Another person is saying, you know what? I am going to protect this company like it's my own because my fortune, my life is here. Trust me, ladies and gentlemen, there is no way your presentation is going to be the same. When one is saying that, you know what, I am just someone in transit. I'm someone doing business to go to the next business. It's like when personally, I am an accountant. Are we together? I get employed in one of the restaurants in Wandegea. Many times you'll find that I am not there as a worker. I am there as just someone who is waiting for the next. I'm still dropping CVs because I am not there to stay. I'm not there to compete with the manager. I'm not there to compete with the supervisor. I'm not there to compete with anyone. Why? All I want is, can I pay the current bill as I wait for the next opportunity? How will I perform like someone who's saying, I want this restaurant to make me the richest person? Something in our business. There is no way our presentations, our attitude, our approach to our downlines is going to be the same. When me, I see Ronald, I see a diamond, And you, when you see Ronald, you are seeing another one pair to go and buy a plate of food. We are building different business. That's why I'll sponsor people, and everyone I tend to sponsor seems to be hardworking, and you, everyone you sponsor, seems to be a lazy person. Do you know why? How do you look at them? Which attitude are you approaching them with? It's not about your talent. It's not how good of a person you are. It's not about how much you know about the business. It's about how do you look at the business as an overall thing. Ladies and gentlemen, what a winning mindset really means. A winning mindset, they are talking about the ability to believe in your vision even when results are slow. To stay consistent even when others quit. To stay positive even when others are saying, I think it's a dead end for us. Learning from failure instead of being discouraged by failure itself. But ladies and gentlemen, if I fail, do I say it's game over, or do I say I have learned a lesson from what happened? Are we together? But ladies and gentlemen, go and read about this gentleman called, J.K. Rowling, the author of Harry Potter. That gentleman tried to publish as many books as possible, but nothing was coming through. Are we together? But the day Harry Potter actually broke through, ladies and gentlemen, it's been one of the best pieces ever produced or published. Look at Thomas Edison, the inventor of what? The light bulb. How many times did he say he failed? He says, I never failed. He says, I just got 10,000 ways which cannot come up with a light bulb. He didn't fail 10,000 times. He just found out ways that cannot come up with one. When you are presenting to people, do you say, these people have failed, so I'm done with business? Or do you say, from these guys, I've been able to realize my passion is low, my energy is low, I don't know much about the products. This means I can go and improve. Ladies and gentlemen, focus on solutions instead of problems. Who does not have a problem? The rich have problems. The poor have problems. The successful businesses have got challenges. Even the raw businesses also have got challenges. The only difference is, what do we choose to focus on? Do we focus on the solution to the current problems, or do we make it a reason as to why we should stop working? You know, ladies and gentlemen, do you know that what is your excuse of not working is another person's reason for working? And you know, one of my reasons of working is actually your excuse of not working. It all depends on what mindset do you possess. That, ladies and gentlemen, maintain discipline even when motivation is low. How many of us have woken up in the morning and you have like a 10 minutes meeting or even a 30 minutes meeting? You are saying, anyway, why should I even go to office today? I don't have a guest. I don't even have transport. I've not even earned money. I've not even done anything. My team seems not to be working. Everything I'm doing doesn't seem to be working. Why should I spend even the last penny I have to go to town? How many of us has happened? Now, ladies and gentlemen, at that particular time is when now your mindset, your attitude kicks in. That's when it does what? It kicks in. That's when the difference maker kicks in. The champion says, this is why I need to come and even learn more, so that I can get to know why my business is not working. Another one says, the mediocre says, no, I think I'm going to waste my money. Let me sleep. That's not a difference maker. I posted my videos. I've posted 20 videos. No likes, no customers, nothing. Posting more is a wastage of my time. Another person says, you know what? Let me post another one. People are getting to know me. People are getting to realize me. People are trying to see what I'm doing. Now that's the difference maker. Ladies and gentlemen, Let's look at how you develop a winning mindset. Number one, build a strong vision or purpose. There is no way, ladies and gentlemen, you are going to be disciplined. There is no, ladies and gentlemen, you are going to withstand the storms. You are going to think through the challenges. When your reason of going through the challenges is a weak one, there's no reason for you, ladies and gentlemen, to go through the hardships when the purpose, when the vision is a weak one. For anything that we do, ladies and gentlemen, the question is always, what is the backup of the action that you are taking? If you are taking action, because ladies and gentlemen, if you are taking action because someone said take action, then ladies and gentlemen, anytime you wake up in the morning and you don't feel like doing it, why? You are not doing it for your own reasons. You are doing it because of another person. There is a documentary I was watching, and this gentleman was saying that if you want to succeed in any business, always ask yourself these three questions. Number one, why are you doing the business? Number two, for whom are you doing the business? For whom are you doing the business? That, ladies and gentlemen, the driving forces are going to be the determinant of how long you are going to play the game. The driving force behind the phone call you're making is going to be the determinant of how you are going to actually make the phone calls. How many you're going to make, when you are going to wear out, is all determined by the reason behind why you're doing the business. They're saying that a vision is a clear mental picture of the future you want to create through your business. Are we together? Ladies and gentlemen, what do I envision in OQATA Wellness Solutions? They are saying a strong vision is what keeps entrepreneurs and leaders moving, even when results are what? Are slow. Even when people quit. Even when challenges do what? Appear. That's the only reason, ladies and gentlemen, I'll keep doing OQATA. If you are doing OQATA because of the CEO, it's a good reason, but it is not strong enough to carry you through all the challenges. If you're doing the business because of your sponsor, because of your upline, ladies and gentlemen, it's a good reason to begin with. It's a good reason in the short term. But ladies and gentlemen, sometimes the storm is going to be stronger and you want a reason way beyond your upline, your friend doing the business. Are we together? That there must be something emotional attached to as to why you are working. Ladies and gentlemen, ask yourself this question or these questions. Why must I win? In OQATA, why should I make millions of money? Why should I make this specific amount of money? Are we together? As you set your goals, today is a Monday. Ask yourself, ladies and gentlemen, why do I want 1 million this week? Why do I want 2 millions this week? Why do I want 10 millions this month? Is it because I want to be among the top earners of the company? Or is it because there is an emotional reason? Ladies and gentlemen, there is something I was told when I was learning about goal setting. They said that the moment you set a goal and there is no repercussion when you don't achieve that goal at that particular time, then you are chasing the wrong goal, the wrong target. The moment, ladies and gentlemen, get it from me, the moment the goal you have set, the target you've set, if you don't achieve it, always ask yourself, what will happen if I don't achieve it? Let me ask you right now. All of us are saying we want Range Rover Sports. All of us are saying we want maybe Land Cruisers. All of us are saying we want to stay in Kololo. You want that beautiful mansion. My question is, what if you don't get the Range Rover Sport? What happens? Anything happens? Anything happens? Nothing. Meaning that the moment I push and I feel okay, it's okay. Even if I don't get the Range Rover Sport, it's fine. Haven't you met people who are saying, me, it's okay as long as I eat? Because at that particular time, when they don't eat, when they don't get money to eat, there is a very big problem. I want you to ask yourself this question today. Yes, I know you have long-term goals, you have long-term visions, you have long-term targets. It's okay. Have them. But today, what is going to make you wake up and come running very fast is that goal that if you don't achieve this month, this year, there is a problem. Do you know why parents always seem to get it right on school fees? Because they know if they don't get that 1 million, their child's future is in jeopardy. And yet, you look for, how many of us have woken up, you look for 10,000 and you can't find 10,000. You wanted to eat a good meal, but then you're like, you know what, I failed to get a 10,000. So, even if I get 5K, I'm okay. But then after, a few days after, your landlord comes knocking and says, I want 200,000, and you get the 200,000. What has changed? It's a repercussion which has changed. Don't get the money for the landlord. You are kicked out, you'll sleep on the streets. Even if you don't eat food of 10K, it's okay. As long as I can eat chapati and beans and mkawa. There's no repercussion. It's not serious. Are we together? When you are saying you want to replace your mother's roof, ladies and gentlemen, when other people see rain, the farmers are excited. When you see rain, you are not excited. You see your mother's house flooded. Your reasons of working are different. Ladies and gentlemen, who am I doing this for? What will change if I succeed? What will change if I achieve this target? Without a vision, people work only for today's results. With a vision, people work for a bigger future. Ladies and gentlemen, vision gives meaning to the daily effort. It's the fuel that keeps you going. It's the what? It's the fuel. Ladies and gentlemen, number 2, control your environment. Control your environment. They are saying, ladies and gentlemen, many think mindset is only about personal motivation. Yes, it's about you. But also they are saying that in reality, your environment also constantly shapes how you think, how you act, how you make decisions. Your environment shapes your beliefs. Surrounding yourself with people who are positive leaders, ambitious people, success stories, your thinking expands. That, ladies and gentlemen, never underestimate the power of the environment in which you're operating or working or praying. That, ladies and gentlemen, you know they say that you are always an average of the people you surround yourself with. Not so. That if you're around negative people, poor people, you are the next one. The same applies if you're around rich people, it is the same. Ladies and gentlemen, it's not only about the material things, but also your mentality. How many of us actually realize that all the beliefs we have today, all the principles, all the norms and whatever that we follow and believe in, all of them are because of the environment, are because of the communities in which we grew up. Not so? Have you heard people say, for us, we don't eat this. You go to another community, it is actually their best meal. You, in your small community, you have convinced yourselves that, you know what, this is an abomination. In another community, they are saying, if you don't do this, you don't know what life is. You don't know what life is. That's the power of the environment. Ladies and gentlemen, the same applies to you in business. That the moment you surround yourself with positive leaders, automatically, even you, it's going to be the same. Because that's what you're hearing on a daily basis. Are we together? Ladies and gentlemen, ambitious people, the people you surround yourself with, are they striving to be better every single day? Or you are with people who have settled down? That for them, making 3 pairs, making 100,000 is very good money. Or are you around people saying, you know what, no, before I make hundreds of money, before I make hundreds of millions, I am not yet there. Before I buy this, before I get this, before I reach this rank, I will not settle in business. Or you're with someone who's saying, it is okay. Things will move at their pace. Do not rush. We are not going anywhere. It is okay. How many of us you working so hard and your body is asking, why are you struggling? Why are you fighting? This is not your thing. You have not killed anyone. Are we together? There is someone who, there is a brother of mine, I said, but Thompson, why are you working? Did they tell you to bring money? I was like, no, you guy, you're not the guy I need right now. Let me be honest, ladies and gentlemen. When we started OQATA, there are people I brought closer. When we started OQATA, I pushed them back again. I'll go back to them after 5 years, and they'll still accept me. Guys, I want you to watch. Every stage at which you are, always watch. The people around me, are they advocates? Are they prayers in the same stage or phase I am in? If they are not, then they are not the right people for you. At that particular time, you want to be a CFD. You have begun the journey of being a CFD. Your mind is not yet in. You are not yet really fully in. And all you're doing is you're spending time with these guys, the prayer boys and whatever. You being a born again is action drop at any time, you drop it, you lose it. It's until when you have closed the line that you can now accommodate everyone, because at that time, you have the power to withstand any weather. Today, the activity I'm doing does not need any interruption. The phase I'm in, it needs mega doses of positivity. It needs mega doses of pushing. Meaning that the moment you're not an advocate of massive action, you're not an advocate of super growth, fast growth, you are not my friend. I distance myself from you. Ladies and gentlemen, if you always around those who are complaining, if in the training center, I see most of us are in circles. If in the circle you are in, it's a circle of KB, it's a circle of jazzing, run away from that circle. If the circle you are in, they're not telling you invite and invite and invite, post and post 1,000,000 times, leave that circle. This is not the time. The phase we are in, ladies and gentlemen, is the foundation phase. That any mistake you make today, you are going to carry on with it. Any mistake you make today, ladies and gentlemen, it will be fully embedded in your business. If people you are around with, ladies and gentlemen, are telling you it's okay to lag behind, to stay behind, they are telling you it's okay not to fight and rank up like the rest. It's okay not to fight and compete. It's okay not to hit the parameters of the company. You are in the wrong group. You are the wrong person also. Are we together? Yes, it could sound harsh to you, but that's the reality of winning. That's the reality of winning. If you meet your birthday telling you it's okay not to, then run away very fast. Don't even walk away. Run away very fast. Are we together? Ladies and gentlemen, if they're always complaining, if they're always giving excuses, why are you not doing this? They have reason. And if you have bad days, let me tell you one thing. If you have friends who have taught you how to craft reasons why you are not taking action, run away very fast. They have taught you how to give excuses of why you can't do this, why they are not doing this, why things are not happening. Run away. Go to people who don't understand you. People who don't understand why you're not working are the best people you need at this particular time. Ladies and gentlemen, always negative. Always negative. I don't need to tell you that I'm negative, but the way I present myself, the way I talk about business, the way I do whatever, ladies and gentlemen, watch out. They're saying your mind slowly starts accepting those beliefs as normal. The more you listen to the negative, the more you listen to the complaints, you reach a point and it is normal not to. Why? You've overheard it. There's someone who said that, do you know what the truth is? It's what people constantly tell you. It's what actually becomes the reality. The truth is what the community believes to be true. Are we together? Ladies and gentlemen, they are saying that. Number 3, feed your mind daily. This is more or less like point number 2. Feed your mind daily. They are saying your mind works like soil in a garden. Your mind works like soil in the garden. Whatever you plant and water regularly, it will grow. The moment, ladies and gentlemen, anything you put in your home soil, in your fertile soil is your brain, it's your mind. Whatever you put in will grow. If you don't go and fight with the weeds, they will take over the what? The garden. Not so. But if you keep on cultivating in the crops that you want to eat, ladies and gentlemen, they will equally grow. The same applies to your mind. And they're saying that if you don't intentionally plant good seeds, weeds will automatically do what? They will automatically grow. So the question is, what do you want to grow in your garden? Do you want the weeds? Do you want the crops? And then they're saying, just like the body needs food, the mind needs positive input. Every single day, ladies and gentlemen, I want you to look at the information you're listening to. They're saying your daily habits. What should they be like? Listening to leadership audios, listening or reading personal development books, attending trainings, go and watch biographies. Are we together? There is a lot on YouTube, ladies and gentlemen. You can always choose what you want to watch. Do you want to go and watch Kapere? Do you want to go and watch, who's this other comedian, the good one, the famous one? Mariachi, Salvador. Who do you want to listen to? Are we together? Ladies and gentlemen, it's a choice. It's a what? It's a choice. And they're saying, listening to successful entrepreneurs. I want you to create time, ladies and gentlemen. On YouTube, on TikTok, there is a lot of information, but it's you to sieve which information am I feeding on. And ladies and gentlemen, number 4 is build discipline. Build what? Discipline. But ladies and gentlemen, one thing that we must do if we are going to have a winning mindset, we must have the discipline. Because they're saying that winning people are consistent, not just what? Motivated. They are consistent, not just motivated. Consistency over motivation simply means that even when the motivation drops, discipline is when the motivation drops, do you still do what you were supposed to do? Is how you gauge how disciplined you are. Because ladies and gentlemen, on a sunny day, everyone will shine. Are we together? In a good season, everyone will seem to be a good farmer. You get to know the good farmers during the bad season. When the season is changed, that's when you get to know who is the model farmer in the village. That's when you get to know who is the commercial farmer in the village. But during a good season, ladies and gentlemen, everyone will plant their maize and everyone will have a good harvest. In a good season, Everyone is going. How many of us have gone to our villages and our mothers who didn't even do agriculture? They know the seasons, not so? And for sure, they'll always have a harvest. They are not the best farmers. They just know the right seasons. If you want to know the excellent farmer, you look at, can they still plant when it is off season and they still get a harvest? That's when you get to know the professional, commercial, intelligent farmer from the casual farmer. Same thing in our business. If you want to know the best downline you have in your business, if you want to know you're the best, look at when the motivation, when there's no training, when there's no presentation, what do you use your time for? Do you still do the right things? And they're saying discipline means doing work even when you don't feel like, even when customers aren't coming through. Continue doing the basics, even when you don't feel like doing them. How many of us, a point has come where you feel the phone is too heavy, where you feel presentations are now boring, where you feel, let me tell you one thing I was taught. The day you start attending trainings and the trainings seem to be boring, they seem to be the same, you have started declining. The day you come in the presentation at midday and that presentation seems the same, ladies and gentlemen, you have begun your journey of quitting OQATA. You don't begin the journey by being negative. You begin the journey the day the things that are supposed to be making you money start boring. Are we together? When they begin to bore you. When you want to drop academics, do you know how it begins? It begins the day you feel, you know what? Class is not exciting anymore. The journey has begun. Do you know when you fail a subject, the day the teacher starts boring you, you failed the subject already. Same thing with business. The moment a presentation begins to bore you, then you stop inviting for it. Because, ladies and gentlemen, the fact it bores you, it doesn't give you the morale to invite for it. The day the training starts boring you, ladies and gentlemen, that's when you begin to drop some trainings. That's when you stop chasing your downlines to attend. Because, ladies and gentlemen, you feel there are no more lessons in the trainings. And that's when failure has kicked in. It has kicked in. The day you feel inviting does not work anymore. The day you feel that script you are using to get results, the day it starts boring you, ladies and gentlemen, that's the day you have stopped the journey to success. The day you feel colon detox does not work, that's the beginning of your trouble. The day you feel super omega is no longer super, it's now just omega. Ladies and gentlemen, the journey to failing has begun. That is the only difference. All of us have got the same information. The question is, what is the backing up mindset we have towards the talent we have? Ladies and gentlemen, they are saying, keep your promises to yourself. Keeping your promises to yourself and to others. When you make a promise, is it just a bluff? When you are saying, I want to fight for this, are you telling people to excite them? Are we together? When you say, I'll come for the morning training, I'll not miss a training again, I'll not again do this or that. Ladies and gentlemen, they're saying that do not look at keeping the promise to your uplines, to your downlines, but always ask yourself, have I kept the promise to myself? Because you know what? You might make that commitment. I might not even take it serious. It's upon you. Are we together? You might make that commitment, that promise. It's okay. I may not even actually remember the promise you made. The question is, you're the one who said it. You're the one who said it. If I don't remind you, do you still own up? Is the question. That's the difference between succeeding and being a mediocre. Are we together? Ladies and gentlemen, they are saying, small daily actions create big long-term results. Let's go to number 5, which is preparation. They're saying preparation. Ladies and gentlemen, when you don't prepare, you have already planned to fail actually. When you don't prepare for success, you still have prepared. You still have prepared. But this time, you have prepared for a massacre. When you don't prepare for your business, you don't plan for your business, you have still planned. You have planned on how you're going to fail. Ladies and gentlemen, preparation does something powerful. It turns confidence from a feeling into a habit. What? Preparation is what turns confidence from a feeling into a habit. That, ladies and gentlemen, when you are prepared, you think more clear. You act faster. You handle pressure much better. Why? You have prepared for some of these things. That's why an orientation is very key. An orientation, ladies and gentlemen, is a preparation. Someone who's going to record content. How many of us have tried to do lessons about public speaking? Or how many of us have learned or tried to train ourselves on communication skills? One of the things they talk about is preparation. Most of these trainers, most of these teachers or speakers will tell you, when you are going for any meeting, when you are going for any presentation, they usually say, stand in the camera. First, listen, record and listen to yourself. Are you impressed by your own presentation? Then you throw it out there. Are we together? Ladies and gentlemen, when you are going to make a phone call, rehearse what you're going to tell this person. Are we together? It is through these rehearsals, ladies and gentlemen, that our confidence is boosted. It is through these rehearsals, ladies and gentlemen, that we are able. Because, ladies and gentlemen, you wrote down your script. Are we together? But also prepared. How will you respond when they ask this question? When they ask, what do you deal in? You've prepared for it. When they ask, how does trim tone help in slimming or increasing the rate at which you burn fats? Have you prepared for it? Have you prepared for that? But ladies and gentlemen, when that question comes, when you did your background check, when you did your preparations, you don't feel the pressure. Should that question come when you didn't prepare, when you didn't do any research about your content, your pressure is going to rise, and all we shall do is we shall recommend omega-3 to you. Are we together? When you don't prepare, just have an omega-3 next to you, because you might need it before you give it to your client. Are we together? And ladies and gentlemen, preparation builds confidence as it grows from being ready. When you are ready, how many of us have ever gone for a presentation? You have rehearsed it. You are going for this presentation. You go when you're like 100% sure. From any angle you come, I'll hit you. Any question you ask, I am ready. Ladies and gentlemen, I want you to put in the time to practice. And I want you to do perfect practice. It becomes perfect practice when you prepared. If you didn't prepare, ladies and gentlemen, you are not going to practice. You are going to suffer. Are we together? You're going to suffer. Why do you think teachers have lesson plans? Preparation. Why do you think people, even these presidents, most of them rehearse their presentations? Let me tell you, ladies and gentlemen. Yes, you might have the content. Are we together? You might have the content. You might have the knowledge. Let me be honest with you. Pick me from anywhere and throw me on stage. I'll give you a presentation. But a presentation I've prepared for cannot be the same as the presentation I have not prepared for, however much I know. Why? At the beginning, ladies and gentlemen, your mind is coded with so many things that the first 10 minutes, if you're not prepared, the first 10 minutes you're going to waste them trying to compose yourself and getting which line do I take. Are we together? When you don't prepare your content, you are going to go and talk about trim tone, and you'll pick on every component in the product. But if you've prepared, you'll get one thing and exhaust it. Most of the people I've seen who are doing crazy sales, one thing they've done is they've got one line and they have explored it and exploited it and explained it beyond even explanation because of preparation. Ladies and gentlemen, some of us are doing recordings, but someone cannot exactly know what you're driving. Someone cannot easily know exactly what are you promoting about your product. Because you're touching this, touching that, touching the other. Are we together? Ladies and gentlemen, when you prepare, you reduce uncertainty. Your brain feels safer and ready to win. It feels safer and ready to win. And they're saying preparation reduces fear. A lot of fear in business comes from not knowing what might happen. Most times, ladies and gentlemen, we are in panic mode because we are not certain of what is coming next because we didn't prepare for anything. Are we together? Ladies and gentlemen, that preparation makes challenges feel manageable. It makes challenges feel manageable instead of being overwhelming. If I take up the leadership mantle, if I take up the leadership challenge, I prepare for it, I read more about leadership. Ladies and gentlemen, my confidence will always be high because I know any challenge that comes, I know I'll always find a way out of it. Verses whereby, ladies and gentlemen, I'm caught off guard, I'm caught by surprise. Ladies and gentlemen, it becomes overwhelming on my side. That's why even this comes even to money. That's why when you get money you didn't prepare for, many times you lose that money. You never seem to know where it went. How many of us has happened before? You've been crying, God, if I can get $1 million, God, if I can get $1 million, God, if I can get $1 million, God, if I can get $1 million. Then out of the blue, the $1 million comes when your mind is scattered. By the time your mind comes back together, the 1 million is over. And you wonder, God, I was praying for the 1 million, it came. Give me another chance. This time. How many of us have asked for this time like 1 million times? And for one reason, you've never gotten the chance. Are we together? Ladies and gentlemen, preparation creates what? Clarity. Number 6, our second last point is power of focus. Focus is another thing that's going to help you have a winning mindset. Focus. Many people don't fail because they lack opportunities or talent. They fail because their attention is scattered. The attention is what? Scattered. That, ladies and gentlemen, if you want to know how focused you are, let me ask you, today, can I ask randomly, what's your goal this week? Yes, you. Okay, tell us any. What's your goal this week? What's your goal this week? Sponsoring 2 people. My question is not what you tell me today. The question is, by Wednesday, when I again ask you what's the goal for this week, do you tell me 2 people or do you tell me 5 people? Or do you tell me 1 person? Or do you tell me that this time I want 100 CVs? How many of us realize that very many times, very many times, our goals keep on changing. Why? Because we are setting goals out of, it's okay, I must set goals for the week. So let me put this one. On Wednesday, when they ask, it is okay, this can also be my goal. By Friday, it's okay, the week is done. Let us see what next week brings. Are we together? Ladies and gentlemen, I want you to ask yourself, like, what is your focus, like, what's the span of your focus? Are we together? And I'm saying, focus allows a person to direct their energy, to direct their time, to direct their resources towards what truly moves the business forward. Are we together? That, ladies and gentlemen, the moment you don't focus on something or on a few things, you are going to find that your energy is scattered all over. And when your energy is scattered, you won't be able to achieve anything. It is from the concentration of the energy that actually gives you the desired result. It's the concentration of your time that finally gives you the results. It is the concentration, ladies and gentlemen, of your resources towards something that gets that one thing moving from where it is to where you want it to be. Every market, this also comes to the markets. Ladies and gentlemen, I want you to watch all the top leaders. Watch the top leaders. Most of them, the markets they began with, they have still put their foot down. They are still pushing the same markets. We don't know which market you're working with. You are everywhere. Are we together? But also at the same time, you're nowhere. Are we together? You are everywhere and nowhere. Exactly. We don't know where you are. You are unpredictable. Because you are not focused on any market. Someone is going to wake up and say, Hamson, why is Goma working so much? Do you know how many times I've gone? Someone is going to come and say, Rwanda is a very good market. It's a market to go for. Do you know how many times I've gone there? And you know what happens? This is actually what happens in MLM. Many people see a market coming up, and then they come and say, by the way, I think Zambia is a good market. It's not a good market. It's the same as Uganda. People are the same. Negativity is everywhere. Negativity is everywhere. Money is scarce everywhere. There is no country where money is not scarce. In every country, money is scarce. Do you know why you will come and say this market is so good? Because someone focused on it. Someone got an amateur leader and made them a top leader. You will come saying, let me also go to the same market. That's where the good people are. Don't you worry, come. You have 1 year of also getting a good leader like me. That's the truth. Are we together? I'm going to wake up in the morning. I get Haji. I work with Haji for 1 month, 2 months, 3 months, 4 months, 5 months. 1 year I'm working with the Haji. Then you say, I think Hajis are good people. Let me hunt the Hajis down. You look for everyone with Entarabusi on the head. You give Muslims a very big problem. Why? Hajj is making a lot of money. And you think Muslims are the good people for business. I know what's going to happen. For you, every Muslim you bring, every Hajj you bring does not work. Now you say, me, what's the problem? Do you know the problem? I focused on him. You are picking, you are scattering people. You are just feeding the genealogy. You are feeding the genealogy. People today think Congo is a good market. Who told you Congo is a good market? I was going to Congo month in, month out, month in, month out, month in, month out. Congo explodes. Everyone says Congo is a very good market. And everyone starts sending French messages. Are you sure? Someone is going to go to Ginger. I know some of you, very soon, we shall see going to Arua. Arua people, very good people. Who told you? Who told you Arua they are good people? No market is good, and also every market is good. It's all about which market do you choose to concentrate on. It's about choose the market. One thing personally I do is I sit down and say, this is my market. And I'll go there forever until when I get someone who works. There is no one who's good and there's no one who's bad. It's about who do you concentrate on. Concentrate on an amateur. Give them time, teach them. They'll be the best. Get a good guy in business. Don't concentrate on them. Don't support them. Don't push them. And the good person becomes the worst downline in your life. You can even go and grab a salesman from any insurance company and bring them here, and they fail to sell even one trim ton for 1 month, for 2 months, for 3 months. Get an amateur who doesn't know anything. Concentrate on them, and they'll move 1,000 products in 1 year. It's not about the talent. It's not about the skill someone has. It's about what do you choose to focus on. Are we together? Ladies and gentlemen, if someone is focused, they concentrate on high impact actions. You look at, when you choose to focus, ladies and gentlemen, you look at what is the impact of what I am focusing on what I'm doing, what's going to be the impact. And they're saying that business momentum always comes from consistent action over time. When you focus on something, when you focus on an activity, on a certain team, that's where momentum comes from. Momentum, ladies and gentlemen, doesn't come from how good you are at presenting. It comes from how concentrated, how focused are you on that presentation. How consistent are you on doing the presentation is where momentum comes from. Are we together? Ladies and gentlemen, they're saying, without focus, people constantly jump between ideas or even new strategies. Ladies and gentlemen, can I also be honest with you? Every strategy works. The challenge is, have you given it enough time to mature? You apply it this month, the next month you've dropped it. Why? This strategy does not work. Yet another person is saying, I am making a killing from the same strategy. Why? They gave it time. Do you know how many times people have been posting? You want to put the first video and then you get 40,000 views and sell 1,000 CVs. Why don't you respect the people who have been doing it for some time? Why don't you respect those people? Are we together? I want you to have respect for people who have done it longer than you. They were learning. You don't know anything. Also, give yourself enough time to master these things. Are we together? If you post the first video and you don't get any like, you don't get any customer, it's okay. Post another one, and another one, and another one. Actually, for even you post 20 in a day. So that you catch up with the one who has been doing it for the last 2 months, but posting one per day. Are we together? Because people don't trust you. How many of us have found it a big problem like me, that when you send me a friend request, the first thing I do when you send me a friend request is, I click. On Facebook especially. Before I confirm, I click and see. How many times, for how long I've been on Facebook for me to trust you? Because there was that time, I don't know how active you were on Facebook. There was a particular time when there were very many con men and ladies from West Africa who were coming, I'm a daughter of a king, I'm a daughter of a rich person. How many of us remember those stories? You'd find someone has got a fabricated timeline. Like, okay, it's not convincing enough. Are we together? From that time, I became more conscious that before I accept, I first look at, for how long have you been active? I don't confirm. But now I'm in network again, I'm now confirming. Are we together? Ladies and gentlemen, the same thing applies to your content on your TikTok. Someone is going to come before they buy from you. The more videos you have, literally, logically, the faster they trust you because they think what you're doing, you know it. If you have put the first video and that's all that is there, you'll be like, it's okay. I think this guy is just trying out. And this guy is just learning. What am I simply saying? Start it as early as 1 hour ago. Put it, don't care about how many views, don't care about whatever response you get, just put it. Are we together? Over time, you'll get one which will catch fire. And they're saying, without focus, people constantly jump. They're saying, focus keeps you moving in one direction long enough to create momentum. People who are going to have momentum in OQATA, ladies and gentlemen, are people who have been acting, who have concentrated on something. I want you to look at this lady, Rachel. Maybe you can even have a one-on-one with her, or maybe we can even have a Q&A. Maybe we need to suggest it. Sometimes you'll see Rachel jump from nowhere because you didn't know her. She now hits 7,000 points, 7,000 CVs. And they're like, Rachel, I want to be like you. Okay, you want to be like her. But are you ready to go through the process? Are you ready to go through the process? Many people saw Farida last year in Feb, hit 4K. Do you know when Farida started TikTok? Way back. You got to know her after 6 months of her posting and no one is buying. You got to know her because finally she broke through. Are we together? Yes. Ladies and gentlemen, you are going to wake up and see someone. You see Zaki move from top 17 to top number 3. And like, you know what? Zaki, I want to be like you. You don't remember the days, the time he comes at Wood in the morning. You forget the time that he leaves the office. You won't be like him. Are we together? Ladies and gentlemen, focus is what's going to keep you going, that you finally also get the same desired results like the person you admire. And finally, thinking in abundance. This is where the problem is. Thinking in abundance. Most of us, ladies and gentlemen, think in limitations only. They're saying, believing that there is enough opportunities, success, money, growth for you, and even many people, not just a few. Are we together? Some of us, ladies and gentlemen, at a point you'll meet a down and saying, I think the big monies are for the Hampsons. Who told you? The big monies are for so and so. The big CVs are for the Chisaches. Who told you? Didn't Church show you that it's possible? Let me just think, ladies and gentlemen. Where is Kennedy? This gentleman, for one reason, things are not working out for him. Are we together? Last month and the other month, he was posting, they buy one product in a week. This week, last week alone, the guy moved 700 CVs in a single week. But no one knows the guy. He has never appeared even in the 500 CV club. Never. Are we together? Ladies and gentlemen, there are very many people I've seen here. From nowhere. From nowhere. They come and say, you know what? If others are doing it, I can also do it. What is Jordana? I'm not saying Jordana here. The same. Are we together? But ladies and gentlemen, most of us, we are not winning, not because we cannot win, but because we think success has been taken away from us. We feel someone has inherited our share in OQATA. Some of us feel the CVs we were supposed to make, another person has made them on our behalf. No one has taken your share of success. No one has taken your money. No one has taken your team. No one has taken your CVs. You are just thinking in limitation. Most of us think that The ones who are going to make a lot of money, the ones who are making money, are the ones who began with the company. Who told you? When did Rachel join the business? Are we together? I was seeing the top earners in Tanzania. The top earner in Tanzania. They're not making a lot of money, not crazy money. But can you imagine, top number 2, how many of us were here in the last month, which was Feb recognition? There was a guy who came from Mwanza. This gentleman is top number 2 in Tanzania. He's only 1 month old in the company. What are you talking about? He sponsored 10 people in a single month. And in 1 month, he built it. Actually, not in 1 month. In 3 weeks, he has built a team of more than 30 people in 3 weeks. But you're here saying, the company is for those who began with it. Money is for those who joined 1 year ago. That guy is 1 month old. He's top number 2. Are we together? Ladies and gentlemen, there is this young lady who was recognized. What's her name? Who? Ketra. Ketra made 1,000 CVs, but she was even less than a month old in the company. She joined beginning of Feb. By the end of Feb, she had made 1,000 CVs. You are here saying, CVs are for the churches. CVs are for the Faridas. CVs are for so and so. There is no one who took your CVs, ladies and gentlemen. Your CVs are kept at level 3. Your sign-ups are waiting for you. Alan is keeping your codes. He's keeping them very safely. Anytime you go and say, I have come for 100 codes, they will give them to you. They will give them to you. You saw Eric Anodo. This gentleman, Feb, January sponsored 10 people, did 1,600 CVs. Last month, 10 sign-ups and 2,000 CVs. Who took your people? No one took your people. Your people are just waiting for you. You can choose to go to them today. You can go to them next month. You can go to them next year. You can go to them after 2 years. Anytime you go, they'll be waiting for you. So when do you want to talk to them? When someone thinks in abundance, they operate from possibility and expansion rather than fear and limitation. People with a scarcity mindset think there isn't enough success for everyone. There isn't success for everyone. Literally, most of us are handing over our success to other people. Let me tell you one thing. I am not making your money. I am making my money. Your money is waiting for you. Your money is waiting for you. That's why people are moving from 1 million to 4 million, and I'm also moving my own money. I'm not taking any money from anyone. I am getting my share, but also even me, I know I am not done with my share. I'm not done with my share. Even you, your share is intact. Musaudi is having your money. When do you want to cash it out? You choose when to cash it out. Are we together? It's you to choose. No one is going to choose. It's not about talent once again. It's about what mindset do you have. Most of us, ladies and gentlemen, we are throwing in the towel very fast. Do you know what throwing in the towel means? We are giving up so fast. We are thinking in limitation. Some of us, you get some success, it enters your mind, and you think you're done. You're a big boy. You're a big girl. You're still small. I am still very, very small. Very small. I'll only feel an inch. I'll feel an inch in OQATA when I see in a single month 100 million Ugandan shillings on my account. That's when I'll feel an inch of success. People ask me, Hamson, why are you up and down? I no longer feel the bus. I no longer feel the long journeys. I no longer feel... Why? My biggest share is still within OQATA's premises. I want to move out with it. I want to cash it out. I want to cash out that money. So I am doing everything takes to make sure that I cash out my money very fast. Are we together? Ladies and gentlemen, I want us to think in abundance. I want us to know that there is still a lot of room for us to do what? To grow. There's still a lot of room for us to do what? To succeed. There's still a very big potential in OQATA, ladies and gentlemen. Are we together? And they're saying it encourages collaboration instead of competition. Let me tell you one thing. At the point we are at, we need each other. We need everyone. We need to fight and get as many testimonies as possible. Because her testimony works for me. Her testimony works for you. Fight. If you can help her get it, help her. Are we together? When Sebuma if he can get his 10 million out of the business, help him get the 10 million. Because that is not his testimony alone. It's my testimony. Our prospects, the public doesn't know who made the 10 million. All they want to know is there someone who made the 10 millions? There's a gentleman I presented to on Friday. This gentleman said, Hamson, have people made 200 million out of the company? I said, let me show you fire. I went and got Madame Hajara's Madame Hajara's poster for recognition as a trailblazer. I told him, she has not made 200 million. She has made 366 million Ugandan shillings in 1 year and a half. The guy was like, is it possible in a product company, someone to make 360 something millions? There's a pharmacist I'm prospecting. I want him to sell products. I told him, can you imagine? This young girl is not a pharmacist like you. She made 11 million in profit. I sent her a picture of Rachel. The guy was like, are you sure, Hamson? Someone can make 11 million in profit when they're... I told her, and I told him to your surprise, she's a young girl. She's a lawyer. You are a pharmacist and old. Between you and her, who needs 11 million? He's coming to 50-something. I asked him, you're paying school fees. This girl, she said she stays even with the parents. She doesn't even pay rent, meaning she doesn't buy supper. You don't only buy supper, you even buy others. You even buy supper for others. You even pay rent and pay school fees. You also have your problems as a man. She doesn't have any problem. She has 11 million. How much do you have? Are we together? Ladies and gentlemen, if we are going to make this business stand out, if we are going to make crazy money, I want you to be the most excited when any new testimony comes up in the business because it works in your favor. Don't think in limitations. You're fighting over one person. There are 1 billion people out there waiting for you. Go and prospect others. One customer, I've taken my customer. How many other sick people are outside there? Very many of them. Go and look for those sick ones. Not even those who are okay. Ladies and gentlemen, feeling threatened by another leader's growth. How? Someone has made money, and then your head is boiling because someone has made money. Celebrate them. Send that screenshot everywhere. Are we together? Ladies and gentlemen, let me tell you one thing. When someone steps up, whether you're downline or you're upline or you're crossline, go and throw them everywhere because, ladies and gentlemen, people don't know the word crossline. You are the one who's fighting with it alone. Your prospect does not know the word upline or downline. They don't even know, and they don't care, and they don't want to know. All they want to see is their progress. Whoever has progressed, none of my business, I will use you. When you get a testimony, you are a tool. People have to use you. Are we together? Ladies and gentlemen, feeling threatened by another leader's growth, abundance thinkers understand that helping others succeed does not reduce their own success. It doesn't. Actually, it increases your success. Are we together? Ladies and gentlemen, over time, this leads to stronger networks and greater influence, which are key assets in business. Capture bigger and more markets. Ladies and gentlemen, we are not going to capture bigger markets and bigger and more markets the moment we do not fight to get local testimonies. I'm very happy that Kampala we are performing, but we can even do way better. Are we together? Allow me to end with this quote here. That's saying that champions know that success is inevitable, that there is no such a thing as failure, only feedback. They know that the best way to forecast the future is to create it. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much. May the Almighty God bless you. Let's go and prepare for what? Our general presentation. Thank you so much. Have a blessed day. Hassan, church leo. Anti ukavudemu. Akuteka ko guru.
Awesome. Good morning. Yes. Tomukkiriza kuvaako.